Curry here with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe. Good morning, guys. How are we doing on this spooky Halloween Friday?
I am doing unbelievable, ready to beat down Skip for the weekend.
All I know is that Sunday night, I'm going to watch the scariest Halloween movie ever, The Cowboys. Nightmare.
Nightmare Part 10.
Yep.
I love it. Well, let's get started. Because the 2-5 Cowboys head to Philadelphia to take on the NFC East leading Eagles on Sunday. Now, as injuries have plagued Dallas, Philly is just over a touchdown favorite in this one, but Zeke still feels confident, pointing out earlier this week that with a win, they are at the top of the division and still have a shot to make a playoff run. So, Shannon, what shot do you give the Cowboys?
I give them a real shot because what they have is that they have the unknown at the quarterback position, Skip. Basically, you're going to have to go back and look at his college tape, but when you look at his college tape, you're going to say, okay, how are the Cowboys going to use him? Skip, when you had Andy Dalton, you had 9, 10 years of footage of Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton is a pocket quarterback. What he's going to do, he's going to drop back. They're not going to move the pocket. He's not going to roll out. He's not looking to scramble. You got a guy, yeah, he's from James Madison, but you have no tape. He only threw, 3 passes last week against the Washington football team? So you really don't know. He's the unknown. So how exactly are they going to use him? Are they going to move the pocket? Are they going to allow him to run? How are they going to use him? Are they going to get a heavy dose of Zeke? Or I'm thinking they're going to give a heavy dose of Zeke, but you really don't know. And so that's the uncertainty of what the Eagles are going up against. Now, the Eagles on their side, Skip, they're going to do what they do. They get after the quarterback and they play the run on the way to the quarterback. And that's the weakness of the defense that Jim Schwartz runs, is that you can run on that defense, but you need to be ahead of the sticks and you don't need to fall behind, because when you fall behind, they pin their ears back with Fletcher Cox, Barnett, Brandon Graham. They come get after the quarterback. For me, when I look at this, Skip, it's going to come down to this. The Cowboys don't take the ball away. And so walking to him does not need to give them the football, because they ebb and flow. It's not like they got great receivers. They got guys that you don't really know. And so I don't really know what I'm going to get from game to game. But they've played well thus far. And if Wentz does not turn this football over, I like the Eagles' chance. I'm going to take, I believe it'll be close early, Skip. I'm going to take the Eagles finally winning this ball game 27-17. But it's really going to be predicated on, can walking to him take care of the football?
Timeout. Did I just hear you actually make some case? Because the first phrase you used was, I give the Cowboys a real shot with a 7th-round pick rookie named Benjamin Anthony DiNucci from James Madison. You're saying he's going to go into Wakatuum's house and possibly, because there's not enough tape on him, outplay the quarterback you say is by far the best in the NFC East, and actually give my team, my woeful Cowboys, who have been in no games after the first game of this year, except for the one Andy Dalton stole at the end of the Giants game, you're telling me that Ben DiNucci gives them a real shot at Philadelphia, when I did see Ben DiNucci come in for 12 snaps in place of Andy Dalton at Washington. And I saw him, I'll give you this, he completed 2 of 3 passes for 39 yards, but in 12 snaps, he got sacked 3 times and fumbled twice, and the Cowboys fortunately recovered both fumbles, or it would have been much worse than 25-3. My team scored 3 points against a woeful Washington football team. And you're making a case Ben DiNucci has got a quote-unquote real shot? Are you kidding me?
No, Skip. Actually, I'm not kidding you, because here's what happens, is that sometimes when you're down to your 3rd quarterback, the opposing team underestimates you. And they're like, okay, we got this. There's no Dak. There's no Andy Dalton. And I remember a 6th-round guy that people underestimated, a guy by the name of Tom Brady. Now, I'm not saying bad. Skip, he goes by the acronym of BAD. Ben Anthony DiNucci.
He's a bad boy. I'm afraid he might just be really bad.
Well, I hope in this instance he is bad. But Skip, having having been in situations like this before, I've seen it happen where you're underestimating the guy's ability and they call the perfect game. He plays really well within himself. You've underestimated them, and before you realize that you're actually in a ball game, it's too late. He's playing with such confidence. The team is playing with such confidence. Now, if they get out there and play and they squash his confidence early, well, this game could be a runaway. But the longer they leave the Cowboys in this game, the more it works to their detriment.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a quick hark back for longtime Cowboy fans to something that would be, dare I say, eerily similar, Halloween similar. The only thing I can compare this to was a Thanksgiving game. I believe it was in 1975, and it was
Clint Longley?
Yep, Washington at Dallas. And big Thanksgiving Day, late day stage. And Clint Longley came in for the great Roger Staubach and threw a late touchdown pass to Drew Pearson to steal the game from the then Washington Redskins. And after the game, one of the great all-time quotes came from a great all-time offensive lineman for the Cowboys named Blaine Nye from Stanford University, who said about Longley, it was the triumph of an uncluttered mind. So you're saying that Ben DiNucci is going to have an uncluttered mind and just out of blissful ignorance could throw a party at Walkatuum's house?
Well, I don't know about a party, but Brian Billy used to say, Skip, you don't know what you don't know. He doesn't know he's not supposed to play well. He doesn't know that he's supposed to lose this ball game. He just happens to be, I'm the only guy that's available. I'm the next guy up. So I just need to go out here and do it because, as you mentioned, you look at all the weapons around him. He still has Zeke in the backfield. He still has CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup. Although Michael Gallup did not play well last week, CeeDee Lamb did not get very many opportunities. No. He still has those weapons. The question is, Skip, can they give him enough time? Can they hold up long enough to give him more than 3 steps? Because a three-step drops are not going to cut it. You're going to have to be able to push the ball down the field.
Shannon, all I know about Ben DiNucci is that he started at Pitt. He's from the Pittsburgh area. And he flamed completely out at Pitt and had to transfer to James Madison. James Madison did give us one of the NFL greats, Charles Haley, who helped the Dallas Cowboys win 3 Super Bowls, obviously, and the 49ers, a few himself. But the point is that, I'll give you this, Ben DiNucci last year in the Colonial Athletic Association was the MVP of that league, the player of the year for that league that year. Okay. And he made it all the way to the FCS championship game against Walkatuum's North Dakota State, now led by Trey Lance, who I think is going to be like a top 5 pick as a quarterback. Right. And North Dakota State did win that game. DiNucci played okay, so at least he's been in that big of a game. But, Shannon, this is Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham and Derek Barnett and Malik Jackson and Josh Sweat, and they come from everywhere in that wide 9. They are going to terrorize this poor kid. And he said that DiNucci said he ran into Dak yesterday at the Cowboy facility, and that Dak's advice was, just do you. Well, the Eagles are going to do him too, because they're going to do him every way but loose. Go ahead.
Skip, what if he asked Dak, well, who am I?
Yeah,
you say do me. Who am I?
I agree. So, Shannon Sharpe, here's my problem. Yes. As a lifelong Cowboy fan, at least since I was 10 years of age, what evidence do I have that they have any shot in this game? Because the last time I watched Dallas at Philadelphia was late last year on December 22nd with my quarterback still at the helm. Dak Prescott played that game. He did have a bum shoulder, but he played. And what happened? The Eagles won 17-9. Dak Prescott managed 9 points at Philadelphia. So how can I think that Ben DiNucci is going to outscore Dak Prescott? Because you gave them, what, 17 points? So he's going to almost double what Dak got against Philadelphia? I can't even fathom that. I'm going to remind everybody, as painful as it is for me, this is by far the worst Cowboy defense ever. It's the worst in the league, giving up 35 points a game. The Cowboys are running away with turnover differential on the negative side at minus 13 because my Cowboys lead the league in giveaways and they lead the league in fewest takeaways. Help me out. Is that not a recipe for disaster?
It is.
And
That's
what,
why you.
Yeah, what did Jerry Jones just do? He just shipped out every veteran free agent that he signed in the offseason. All of